Is it possible to save my marriage? If you're in what feels like a loveless marriage, or you are already at the point of separation and/or divorce, you may very well be asking yourself this question. Oftentimes, only one person in the marriage is thinking this question. The other either doesn't even realize there is something wrong, or just wants out altogether. If you are thinking that you need to start working on your marriage, because it feels like it's in a downward plunge, or you want to get your marriage back, then here are a few tips you can use. The first step is to take a step back from it. Try to analyze your situation objectively, without all the emotions. This is hard, and it is probably harder if you are still in the marriage, but do the best you can. Write things down. Try to figure out turning points, mistakes, what went wrong, and how you could have possibly avoided it. If you have already split with your husband or wife, minimize contact as much as possible, so that you can have the time to get a more objective perspective. This is not about blaming, but rather about assessing the situation, so try to do this without placing blame on yourself or on your spouse. When you are doing this, try to pick out the real reasons for problems, not the symptoms. For example, if one of you cheated, that is not really the problem, but the result of an underlying problem, or several of them. Of course, that just adds to all the problems, because a relationship is based on trust, and cheating really violates that. But there were other issues that lead to the cheating as well. After the assessment phase comes the time for action. This is where you should speak to your spouse about what you've been analyzing. This is most likely not going to be fun, so gear up for some opposition, and prepare to be strong. You of course want to listen what he or she has to say, but make sure that your voice is heard too. Also be prepared to change your mind if your spouse brings up something that you hadn't realized or thought of. This is not particularly enjoyable, but at least you are communicating. You may also want to see a counselor or therapist who can help you determine some of the problems and give you an unbiased viewpoint.